I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Matt Duchesne of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Justus Aros of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half-stepping. This is the Renegades of Puck podcast, and I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Before we get started on the no half-stepping hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. That's where you'll learn everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck. And once you're done learning about the Renegades of Puck, you can click on that merchandise tab. That's where you're going to find our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirts, all of our different special event t-shirts, and about 7 other different lines of t-shirts that we have. Don't worry, we still have all the gimmicks you've come to know and love from the Renegades of Puck, including throw pillows, socks, wall art, bed sets, and plenty more. We've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media, the easiest way to support this show, and we sure would appreciate if you would help us out there. It doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't take but a second to go ahead and give us a like, a follow, a subscription on many or all of our social media platforms. You can, of course, find us on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, creating new content each and every day on all of those different platforms. You can find the podcast in video form on YouTube. You can find the podcast in audio form on a myriad of different platforms. You can find the Renegades of Puck basically everywhere. Please, we sure could use your support. Thanks so much in advance. Stick taps, love, and respect. You can become a partner of the show by going to Venmo or just scanning the QR code that's currently on your screen. Thanks to generous renegades like yourselves, we've been able to upgrade the bunker in some significant ways. New microphone, new camera, new lighting, new basically everything here in the home HQ for the Renegades of Puck. We are very proud of the presentation we're putting on display. We think we are looking and sounding better than ever. And again, that is thanks to generous renegades like yourselves. Stick taps, love, and respect. Now it's time to deliver the no half-step in hockey coverage, so let's deliver the goods. It's operation number 676 for the Renegades of Puck. That's right, show number 676. And on this date in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 4th place in the Central Division. They played 17 games. That's tied for the most played in the Central Division. They have a record of 8-1, so they are back to 500. They have 17 points. On home ice, they have a record of 5-3-1. That's where their next game will take place. They've scored 47 goals on the season. They've given up 56 goals on the season. That's a goal differential of -9. Taking a look at the rest of the Central Division before we break down the Nashville Predators and the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Dallas Stars currently sit in 1st place in the Central Division after 17 games, a record of 10-5-2, 2 head-to-head victories over the Nashville Predators. 22 points has them 5 points ahead of the Nashville Predators at this time. They're 1 point ahead of the second-place Winnipeg Jets that have 21 points. The Colorado Avalanche are at 19 points. They have only played 15 games on the season, so 2 less than the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators. Then you'll find the Preds with 17 in 4th place. The St. Louis Blues have 16 points. They have played 16 games. Minnesota Wild have 16 points. Chicago Blackhawks are at 15. The Arizona Coyotes, after losing to the Vegas Golden Knights tonight, remain in last place in the Central Division with only 13 points on the season. Now, I mentioned the Nashville Predators turning their home record around on this homestand. Well, their next game will take place against the Tampa Bay Lightning. 3 for 3 so far on the homestand, 6 out of 6 points collected. Tampa Bay is up next. Then Monday, they'll close out the homestand versus the Arizona Coyotes. Wednesday, a quick one-game road trip to Detroit, and then back home on the 25th to face off against Colorado, the 26th versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the 29th versus the Anaheim Ducks to close out the November schedule. Now, this is just the first of 2 meetings between the Nashville Predators and the Tampa Bay Lightning, but they're going to come very quickly on the calendar. It will be December the 8th when the Preds will make their one and only visit to Tampa Bay this year, unless, of course, somehow these two teams find themselves in a best-of-7 Stanley Cup final. Taking a look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, they are 10-6-1 on the season. Their 21 points is 4 points better than the Nashville Predators. They are good for 3rd overall in the Atlantic Division. On the road, they have an even record of 4-4 and a +4 goal differential. Taking a look at their most recent action, their last 5 games, on the 8th of November, it was a 3-2 loss versus the Edmonton Oilers. On the 11th, it was a 5-1 loss at the Washington Capitals. Follow that up in a second game against the Caps with a 6-3 victory on home ice. Another game on home ice leads to an overtime win, 5-4 versus the Dallas Stars, and most recently, a 4-1 victory versus the Calgary Flames. So three consecutive wins for the Tampa Bay Lightning coming into Nashville. Taking a look inside the NHL ranks between these two teams, as you would expect, the Tampa Bay Lightning have some pretty high-powered metrics, but maybe not as high up the charts as you would be expecting. 3.41 is a very, very impressive number for goals for. It's 11th best in the NHL. The Preds are at 2.71. That is 26th best in the NHL. Goals against, Tampa Bay is giving up quite a bit here. 3.12 per game is 14th overall in the NHL, while the Preds are giving up 3.24. That is 18th in the league. Shots on goal, Tampa Bay is 16th, while the Nashville Predators are 27th. The Preds only generating 29.2 shots on net per game. Shots against, the Preds are 19th, and Tampa is 13th overall in the NHL. Tampa is giving up 31.2 shots against per game. The Preds are giving up 32.6. In the special teams, not much of a surprise to see that the Tampa Bay Lightning power play is in the top 10. They're 9th overall. They've converted 16 of 68 times in the season, or 23.5%. The Preds, of course, have not had a great power play so far this season. 29th in the league, 10 out of 63, 15.9% on the conversion. On the penalty kill, though, the Nashville Predators, this is their best overall team metric that they have, 6th best in the NHL on the PK at 82.5% kill rate, giving up 11 power play goals in 17 games played this season. Tampa Bay's given up 13 power play goals against. Their penalty kills rated 13th overall in the NHL. They're killing off 79.7% of their penalties against. Individual statistics, of course, there are some high-powered offensive skill players on this Tampa Bay Lightning team, so let's go down their side of the ledger first. Kucherov, 9 goals and 16 assists, 25 points already on the season. Stamkos at 9 and 10 for 19. Sergachev is at 4 and 13 for 17. Point is at 6 and 10 for 16. Hagel 5 and 8 for 13. In net, Vasilevsky, always an impressive goaltender, 6-5 and 1, 906 save percentage, 2.92 goals against average. On the Nashville Predators side of the stat ledger, Philip Forsberg leads the team in total points, 6 goals and 11 assists for 17 points. Roman Josi, though, quickly after tonight's performance, climbing up those charts, 3 and 11 for 14. Matt Duchene is at 4 goals and 9 assists for 13 points. Mikhail Granlund, 1 goal, 12 assists for 13 points. And Nino Niederreiter leads the team in goals with 8, add 2 assists to that for 10 points. That makes him 5th overall on the Nashville Predators in scoring. UC Saros' numbers are starting to look better now. An even 6-6 and 1 record on the season, 905 save percentage, 3.10 goals against average. It's another highly impressive team coming in here to Bridgestone Arena, but so far on the homestand, these have all been very good teams that have come in. The New York Rangers, a very good team. The New York Islanders, also a very good team. And the Minnesota Wild, certainly a good team in the Central Division. So for the Nashville Predators, they've managed to secure 3 consecutive victories on home ice. It's their longest winning streak of the season, and it does appear they are gaining some momentum. The Renegades of Puck are all in the trenches. We'll talk about it throughout the show. We'll bring you all the analysis, stats, and opinions coming up here momentarily. Full game recap. We'll go back and take a look at everything that happened in the Nashville Predators versus the New York Islanders. Rebirth Sports, check out their work at rebirthsports.com. I urge you, please check it out. Also, social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You see me wearing the Renegades of Puck 3rd jersey right here in the bunker tonight. I wear the home jersey, the away jersey, and of course, I wear all of those jerseys in league play here in the Middle Tennessee area, in tournament play, and even in the U.S. Pond Hockey Championships. Wherever I go, wherever I skate, it's Rebirth Sports are the threads that I am wearing, and people always want to know where I got them, and it's a great conversation to have, and I love having the conversation. Rebirth Sports are incredible people, incredible partners, and they're great at communicating. Recently, I was involved in getting an order together. There was a mishap with the order. We went ahead and communicated with each other back and forth, got things straightened out right away. No problems. That's the kind of pros you're working with when you're partners with Rebirth Sports. I urge and encourage all of you, help let them make your visions become reality. Let them become your hockey partners. RebirthSports.com. Now it's time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to November the 17th of the year 2022 when the Nashville Predators were taking on the New York Islanders, and John Hines has an adjustment to his recently reformed lines. Forsberg, Parson, and Granlund make up your first line. Tolvin and Jankowski and Janot make up the second line. Niederreiter, Johansson, and Duchene. Smith, Sissons, and McCarron are your fourth line for this game. So Yakov Trenin is out of the lineup for this game. McDonough and Josi, Ekholm and Carrier, Luzon and Fabro. So you see a big switch on the defensive pairings as McDonough is now on the top pair with Roman Josi, and Roman Josi also switches sides. UC Saros gets the start in net. 57 seconds into the game, and Sorokin comes up with a save on Forsberg's first shot on goal of the game for the Nashville Predators or for either team. But 103, just 6 seconds later, Forsberg follows the play and gets his 6th goal of the season, a sharp angle rebound putback, gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead early in the first. 2:12 of the first period, Sorokin makes a save on McCarron. 2:43, Pelech gets his 2nd goal of the season, tying the game up at 1 apiece. It was the first shot on goal for the New York Islanders, and it was actually a pass attempt through the slot that goes off of Dante Fabro's stick and into the net. 1-1 hockey game. 4:56 in the first period. UC Sarsens with a save on Wallstrom. 5:13. Wallstrom's off the box. 2 minutes for interference. Only 1 shot on goal for the Nashville Predators, and not much going on out there on that power play. But after that power play, at 8:43 of the first period, Citizens' first goal of the season comes after a Cole Smith pass to the top of the crease that's deflected in by Colton Sissons. Great to see Colton Sissons getting on the scoreboard. We've talked quite a bit about him in the last few shows. He gives the Nashville Predators a 2-1 lead. At 9:41 of the first period, Niederreiter gets his 8th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 3-1 lead. It's a shot that deflects off of the D skate and in, so the Islanders and the Predators each have a deflection goal here in the first period off of one of their defensemen. The captain, Roman Josi, has 3 assists now in the first 9:41 of the first period of this game. At 16:14 of the first period, Sorokin comes up with a save on Josi. We hit the intermission with Nashville out shooting the Islanders 18-7. We're 4:25 into the second period, and Saros is coming with a save on Clutterbuck. 4:55. Sorokin comes up with a save on Josi from long range. At 5:01, Parsons' 2nd goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 4-1 lead. A rebound putback, bringing the jam to the low slot area. The rookie is delivering the goods at Bridgestone Arena. 6:37 in the second period, Sorokin comes up with a save on Smith, plus the rebound follow-up. A strong save there by Sorokin, maybe his best of the game to this point. 7:25 of the second, Saros comes up with a save on Mayfield. Luzon's strong support controlling the traffic is what allowed UC Saros to make such an easy routine save on this scenario. At 8:39 of the second period, Sorokin comes up with a save on McCarron at close range. Early whistle circumvents the Nashville Predators possibly from taking the puck behind the net and even tucking it in around the other side. 10:04 of the second period, Nelson hits the upper 90 and out of play, just one of many posts that would be hit by the New York Islanders in this game. 10:35, Stars comes with a save on Wallstrom. At 10:35 of the second period is when the New York Islanders get their 10th shot on goal for the entire game. But believe me, they're going to make up for it. You'll want to stick around for this one. 11:52, Stars comes with a save on Cizikas at 13:19. Nelson hits another post, 14-13. Duchesne carries a puck in with speed, builds the wall, and absolutely sets up a great scoring opportunity in the slot, but no conversion. 15:41, Clutterbuck's 2nd goal of the season for the Islanders cuts the Preds lead in half, 4-2 in favor of the Preds. It was a double deflection off of 2 bodies in the front of the net and into the net. So far, the Islanders' only 2 goals in this game are coming off of deflections in the crease area. 16:19 of the second, UC Saros comes over with a save on Wallstrom. We hit the end of the second period. The Nashville Predators are out shooting the Islanders 28-17. So each team with 10 shots on goal in the second period. We flip things over to the third period, and just 47 seconds into the third period, we see Nelson off the box, 2 minutes for interference, but Nino Niederreiter's also off to the box, 2 minutes for embellishment. We'd see a 4-on-4, and we'd also see both teams hit the iron during this 4-on-4 exchange. At 4:32, back to even strength. Palmieri's 6th goal of the season makes it a 1-goal game. Nashville now leading the Islanders 4-3. It was a shot from the slot after intense pressure by the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders really starting to generate some pressure here the second half of this game. 6:02 to go in the third period. Saros comes up with a save on Lee. Josi, though, is off to the box, 2 minutes for hooking on the partial breakaway. The captain went ahead and made the hook. UC Saros does come up with a save on Nelson's one-timer. The Preds PK overall is very good at 9:46. Mayfield is off to the box, 2 minutes before tripping. The Preds have an opportunity to go on the power play, and that's when Parsonen goes to work again. Now his 2nd goal of the game, his 3rd goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 5-3 lead. It was a deflection off of Granlund's shot from the half wall, and the captain, Roman Josi's 4th assist in this game. The Nashville Predators now have their 2-goal lead back at 11:57 of the third period. Saros comes up with a save on Lee. 12:08, Niederreiter's off the box. 2 minutes for delay of game for closing his hand on the puck. UC Saros comes up with a save on Nelson. Saros then comes up with a save on Barzal's one-timer at 15:28. Ekholm was off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Pajot, his 3rd goal of the season, makes it a 1-goal game again. The Preds now lead 5-4 at Bridgestone Arena. It was from the low slot where he scored after an incredible backhand feed near the post area. Just an absolutely otherworldly setup. As a matter of fact, the setup was so good, it distracted 3 of the Preds defenders, taking their eyes away from Pajot, who scores the goal. 17-10 of the third period. Barzal's off the box 2 minutes for a high sticking. Saros has to make the bigger save of the netminder shorthanded on Cal Clutterbuck. Empty net with 56 seconds remaining in the game. The Nashville Predators are able to survive and win this game 5-4. They end up getting outshot 33-31. So I mentioned the Islanders with 7 shots on goal in the first period. They had 10 shots on goal at the midway point of the period, and then they would go on to have 23 shots on goal in the final 30 minutes, and they would absolutely carry the momentum for the final 30 minutes of this game. The Nashville Predators are honestly lucky to get out of this game in regulation for sure. It seemed like the Islanders had enough momentum that they were going to, at the very least, tie it up. The Preds find a way to survive now. They found a way to survive 3 games in a row, and they have found a way to, while not doing it with style points, while not doing it by the book, they have found a way to collect 6 points in 6 point opportunities and 3 games on this homestand. Now they're back in the pack in the Central Division, 4th place, and only 5 points behind the Dallas Stars at 22 points, and they have 4 lost points directly to the Dallas Stars. It could have been a lot different. They could have at least split with the Dallas Stars, but the Preds seem to be gaining momentum, finding different ways to win each night, and they're definitely going to have to bring a different brand of hockey on a full 60 minutes if they expect to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in their next home game. Highly impressive homestand so far. The Preds seem to be turning a corner and gaining momentum. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We'll now bring you the analysis, stats, and the Renegades of Puck, and that's all coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. Strong Style Fitness, incredible partner of the Renegades of Puck. I sure do encourage each and every one of you to check out their work at strongstylefit.com. Also, go to social media. You'll find Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Strong Style Fitness, very easy to find. Tracy's a certified personal trainer that has made 150 workouts completely free to you Renegades of Puck, and they're all available on YouTube on demand whenever you're ready, whether it's your first workout and your first time getting up off the couch, or you've been doing it for years like a pro. Tracy has a workout designed just for you. Listen, the world's getting incredibly expensive, and personal training, while very helpful, is not a necessity when it comes to how expensive everything else is. Let's just take that equation out of it. Let's get you the best possible personal trainer out there, and let's get you moving, motivated, happy, healthy, and in shape. You don't have to wait for the holiday season or the new year to get started with Strong Style Fitness. Tracy's there waiting for you right now. Strong Style Fit. Please check them out today. Let's go back to talk about the analysis and some stats from this game. UC Saros was 29 out of 33 in this game. And listen, the final 30 minutes of this game, he was absolutely under siege. He was able to make 22 out of 23 saves in the final 30 minutes, and he was absolutely under pressure, and he got the job done. And that's sometimes enough from your starting netminder. Giving up 4 goals in a game, it doesn't look all that impressive, but UC Saros was able to secure the victory for his team tonight, and you hope for better stat lines to come. You know that there will be. There certainly already have been. Parson, you have to absolutely talk about him again. He's been here for all 3 games now, and it looks like he not only belongs, it looks like he's a natural at it. It looks like he's been doing it forever. He seems so comfortable, so at ease, and so prepared to be out there in all of these situations. Look, has he made some mistakes here and there? Of course he has. When you're out there playing first-line center, you're playing as much as he is, you're bound to make a couple of misplays, a couple of mistakes. There was 1 turnover in the D zone tonight. That definitely was noticeable, but there was also 2 goals and an assist for the rookie while generating 3 shots on goal. And the note that I made is greasy goodness. How great is it to see a Nashville Predators player going to the hardest of hard areas, going to the slot, fighting for rebounds, getting deflections and tip-ins. It's very reminiscent of what Patrick Hornquist could do, except Parsonen is bigger, stronger, and able to play the puck a whole lot better than Hornquist ever could. Parsonen could be a real gem for this Nashville Predators team, and 3 goals in the greasy areas. I love watching every second of it. The way he goes out there with his big body and plays the puck along the wall, it's outstanding. It's good hockey. I look forward to talking about it a lot more as the season goes along. The captain, Roman Josi, early in the season, we were wondering, is something going on? Was he not well? Right now, the stats, they're starting to come along. Now he's at 14 points on the season. 4 of those points come in tonight's game against the New York Islanders. 4 assists, generates 7 shots on goal, and just overall strong game. Roman Josi's been noticeable more and more lately. He's been blocking shots, playing better defense, and he's even been physical at times. The captain, Roman Josi, seems to be out of his early season slumber and seems to be rounding the corner and returning to form just like the rest of his team is now. Second on the team in scoring, 14 points, 3 goals, 11 assists. Again, 4 assists in tonight's game. It's incredible. 3 assists in the first period, in the first 10 minutes of the game. Philip Forsberg, goal and assist, 5 shots on goal, heating up, 6th goal of the season. You know how Philip Forsberg gets going. He starts scoring in bunches, and it can be impressive. It's great to see Philip Forsberg starting to catch fire, starting to go in there in the zone on offense, lead the rush, and try to do some of the dynamic, creative things that Philip Forsberg can do. He is the best and most creative offensive threat the Nashville Predators have ever had as a franchise, and on a nightly basis, he does some pretty special and amazing things out there. 2 points on the night for him, 5 shots on goal, and I think he's heating up. But I got to mention Sissons and Niederreiter. Niederreiter, again, he's going to score more than 30 goals for this team. He's already at 8. He leads the team with 8, and he is going to score more than 30 goals. It is going to turn out to be a fantastic free agent signing for David Poile and the Nashville Predators, and for the most part, he does it quietly. He goes out there, he goes to the greasy and the hard areas, he does the work, he brings the jam, and he is certainly not afraid to mix it up. Nino Niederreiter quietly putting together another really strong offensive season. This is what he's done throughout his entire career, frankly. I got to mention Colton Sissons one more time. We've been a little rough on Colton Sissons, and you know when a player turns things around, I always like to make sure to double back and point it out. Not sure if Colton Sissons was injured in the first 12, 15 games of the season. Thought he was more noticeable in the game before this, and I thought he was actually quite noticeable in this one. He picks up his first goal of the season, and it's great to see Colton Sissons back there on the score sheet. 15:46 in total time on ice, also delivered 2 hits in this game. So got to mention Colton Sissons for that one. I've given you my intel and some basic analysis and opinion, but you who's got the intel that you need to know? Well, he's from A to Z Sports. He's been writing some great articles for those guys over there. Make sure you check his work out at A2ZSports.com. It's the Nashville division of things, and you can also find him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. Follow him on Twitter at SCSNSH. He's the one and only Sean C. Smith.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean C. Smith, and let's talk a little bit about this Predators win over the New York Islanders. The biggest thing I want to say, and I'm sure, Charlie, I know you're excited. I know Brian's probably going to come on here later, and he's going to get worked up about Juuso Parssinen or something like that. But there's something else we need to talk about before we talk about the fact that this was an exciting win. The other day, after the game on Tuesday, I had the opportunity to talk to Matt Duchene. Now, of course, if you recall how that game went, it was a 2-1 game that kind of came down to the wire with the opposition surging. And the thing is, Matt Duchene said it best after the game, and he said, I think right now, and keep in mind this was after their second win in a row, I think right now we're desperate for wins. That desperation's important here because what he says is that when they're desperate for wins like they are right now, and I know it's a 3-game win streak, but that doesn't mean they're out of the woods by any means. But when you're desperate for wins and you get a few goals ahead, you start to overthink things because you're not worried about, let's go score some more goals. You're like, hey, we've got a lead, and we really need to protect this lead. We got to make sure that they don't score any more goals. And instead of keeping your foot on the gas, you tend to pull back a little bit. And the thing I've learned is that when you're not skating, with speed, when you're not doing what you need to do to get the puck down the ice, you start thinking. And when you start thinking, you slow down. And when you slow down, the other team can take the puck and score. Now, you want to talk about this game against the Islanders. What did we see? We saw a big lead early. I was at one point saying, the Preds are about 1 goal away from this becoming fight night. And right about the time I said that, it seemed like the Islanders were able to get another goal on the board and pull within 2. And we all know that 4-2 is the most dangerous lead in hockey, and it sure showed why that's the case tonight, because the Islanders were coming back, they were surging, and it's not just, look, give the Islanders their due, but you know the saying. Give the Islanders their due here. They're a solid team. It's not like they got lucky. This is a good team that plays good, hard hockey, and they were playing good, hard hockey. But what happened was The Predators were worried about that lead. They were nursing the lead. They were protecting the lead, and they took their foot off the gas pedal. When you take your foot off the gas pedal, like I just explained, you open yourself up for the other team to take control of the game and start putting pucks in the net. And that's exactly what happened. Yes, 3-game win streak. First biggest streak of the season. That's exciting. Preds fans need something to cheer about and be happy about right now. And look, they do have things to be happy about. Juuso Parsonen's come up. He's scored 3 goals in 3 games. The Predators haven't lost a game since Parsonen's been on the team. Matt Duchene's playing on that second line with Ryan Johansson and Nino Niederreiter, and that line looks pretty good as well. The power play is kind of getting some juice going. UC Saros seems to be back in form, and realistically, that's great. But if every time the Predators get a lead early, they've got to start worrying about how to protect the lead instead of extending the lead, this is the type of game you're going to see over and over again. And while, yes, it's nice that this game turned out well with a victory, not every game is going to turn out that way if that's the way the team continues to play with an early lead. You want an early lead, you want to extend the early lead. You don't want to take your foot off the gas pedal. You don't want to take your foot off their neck. You want to make sure you keep driving that puck down the ice, doing everything you can do to put more goals on the board. 4-2, dangerous lead. 7-0, that's a great lead. There's no danger involved. That team's not coming back, and you still don't take your foot off the gas. You get 60 minutes, you make everything you can out of those 60 minutes, put as much hurt on the other team as you can on the scoreboard and on the boards. Once you do that, you're guaranteeing the best chance for victory each night. That's what the Predators need to do. They're leaning into that old identity from last season, but they've got to get that killer mentality back. They've got to get in that mindset where once we're up, we keep going up and get away from this. Well, we've got a couple of goals up, guys. Let's just make sure we protect the lead. There's no better defense than about 10 goals a night. And I know that sounds a little bit funny, but I guarantee you it's going to be hard for any team to overcome getting scored on that many times. And yep, the Predators are built for a fight, so it's not that big of a deal if it makes the other team mad, because that's what this team is cut out for. That's what they're made for. Yes, 3 wins. I'm not trying to take away from it. I want to be excited. I want you to be excited, but you also have to remember that game was close. The last one was close. And I know close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, but at some point, if the Predators keep pulling the pin, that thing's going to blow up in their hands. And that's when you're in trouble, because we know, we've seen the Predators do this for a couple of seasons now. The Predators, when they get on a roll, they can get too high, and when they get kind of on a bad roll, they can get too low. And once you get too high or too low, it's kind of hard to get back to where you need to be. Charlie, that's all I've got. I'm going to send it back over to you.
He is the one and only Sean C. Smith from A to Z Sports.com. You can check him out on Twitter at SCSNSH. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. You can hear him on a myriad of different podcasts throughout the Nashville Predators coverage and landscape. And he is overall just a great human being. Sean C. Smith, I'm always so appreciative of having him in the trenches here with the Renegades of Puck. Got to tell you about Stripe Digital Solutions, one more partner of this show. We could not manage our digital realm and operations successfully without an incredible partner. And that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions does for us and can do for you. Our website, renegadesofpuck.com, all of the graphics that we have here on Renegades of Puck TV, our social media branding, and all of that comes through the help, guidance, and design of Stripe Digital Solutions. We sure do appreciate what Brandy can do over there. She is an otherworldly digital artist, and she really has helped us learn a whole lot. Many of the different concepts and themes and strategies that you see deployed here by the Renegades of Puck, those are under advisement from Stripe Digital Solutions. So we are learning, we are growing, and that's exactly what you want to see out of your small business or your project. Whatever it is, Stripe Digital Solutions can help you out. Let me give you the box score real quick, then I'll kick it over to Brian for the numbers. Philip Forsberg had a goal in this game. Niederreiter had a goal in this game. Parson, 2 goals in the game. Sissons also scored a goal in this game on the assist column of things. It was, of course, Romeo leading the team with 4 in this game. McDonough and Fabro also with 1 assist on the defensive side of things. Cole Smith had an assist. Parson picked up an assist. Mikhail Granlund gets 1 more, and Philip Forsberg 1 more assist in shots on goal. The captain Romeo led the team in shots on goal with 7, and Philip Forsberg had 5. blocked shots. Fabro and Yossi, 4 apiece in the hits category. Not as physical as a game as we have seen between these two teams in the past. Luzon led the Nashville Predators in hits with 3. Several others had 2. In the time on ice category, Matt Duchene, 17-38 in overall time on ice. John Hines has had a lot of compliments to say about Matt Shane and his game as of late. Good to see him getting rewarded with the extra ice time. Roman Yossi, the captain, led the total team in ice time, 25-11. And in net, of course, UC Saros, 29 out of 33, securing the Nashville Predators their 3rd straight victory at home and 6 out of 6 possible points. Brian Baston is here in the bunker to talk all things analytics. He's leading the analytics revolution. He's got the charts you need to see, the numbers you need to know from ontheforecheck.com. You can find him on Twitter at Brian Baston, and you can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. I'm Brian Baston, and welcome back to the Renegades Analytics Desk. And the Predators have won 3 games in a row. First time all season. And hey, the game might have started off extremely well, got really nerve-wracking towards the end, but rookie Juuso Parssinen was able to secure the game-winning goal, his 2nd goal and 3rd point of the night for the rookie, being named first star. And he's just one of the topics I want to cover in tonight's One Big Stat, and we're going to take a trip into the Nashville record books. Now, last season was historical for a lot of reasons for Nashville. They broke so many franchise records, including most goals scored in the season, scoring by a rookie, etc., etc. However, this season we haven't seen a whole bunch of records broken just yet. However, we saw 3 that came very close just tonight. In fact, all 3 came up second in franchise history. So let's talk about those. First, let's talk about Juuso Parssinen again. The rookie has 4 points in 3 games, including 2 goals. He's been named first star of the game twice on this homestand, and honestly has been trusted so early on in his career that he's been put on the top line with Philip Forsberg and Granlund up on the top line. So he's been extraordinary in his limited time, and we can only hope that he's going to have a rookie season comparable to Tanner Jeannot's last year. But again, going back to the record books, Juuso Parssinen had 3 points in this game, which is tied for 2nd in franchise history for most points scored in a game by a rookie. Now, his 3 points are tied with a whole mess of other Predators. In fact, the NHL record page only shows 20, and the bottom 19 of those are rookies who scored 3 goals, much like Juuso Parssinen. But who did Juuso Parssinen come second to? Which, and those of you may not have guessed this, but the rookie single game scoring record is Dan Hamhuis with 5 points. Dan Hamhuis. Things sure have changed over the years since he was drafted by the Predators, but what a performance by Juuso Parssinen. The topic of the other 2 records is, of course, the other star of this game, Roman Josi, who had 4 points in the game, and which was just an incredible effort by him. He was everywhere on this. He was part of nearly every single Nashville Predators goal tonight. But let's take a look at where that stands in the record books. Once again, he falls at 2nd place for most assists in a single game in franchise history. He had his 2nd 4-assist game, but he is only in 2nd place to 2 people, himself, who had a 5-point game, and Marek Zidlicki. And how many people would have known that one? They both had 5 assists in one game. But if you look at the top 10 now, the top 10 has 3 entries by Roman Josi, his 5-point game and his 2 4-point games, including tonight. And 2 of those top 10 also are Mikael Granlund, who has both those games at 4 points assists apiece. Now, one more record for Roman Josi. If he would have had one more point rather than assists and had a 5-point game, that he would be tied for first in franchise history with Philip Forsberg, who has done it twice. 2 times has he had a 5-point game. So, unfortunately, Nashville didn't break any records tonight. We did see Ryan McDonagh skating in his 800th career game, which is pretty neat, but that's not a franchise record. But you can see the potential that this team has when they're clicking. One thing I want to highlight is Nashville ended this game with a lot less hits than than New York. And that's something we don't see usually out of a John Hines coach team. But I think it allowed them to be more fluid on the transition. They were able to make cleaner passes, and they weren't making as many mistakes. And so I don't know. Tonight was John Hines' 100th win, and maybe it took all 99 of the previous wins for him to realize that maybe hitting isn't always the best and top priority in a game. And hopefully that continues to pay off going forward. The Predators are on a 3-game win streak. They are back to just above 500 in the standings, a point out of wild card position this early in the season. And we can all sit back and celebrate. And I will see you guys at Bridgestone Arena on Saturday. And stop by and see me, because I'd always like to talk to you. I'm Brian Basson from the Renegades Analytics Desk, and back to you, Charlie.
You can find him on Twitter at Brian Basson. You can check out his working on theforecheck.com. He's got the charts you need to see, the numbers you need to know, and he's leading the Renegades of Puck Analytics Desk and the Analytics Revolution. Brian Baston is not only great at crunching numbers, he's also a great human being. I sure do appreciate Brian being a part of the team and being in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Time to wrap this one up. Episode 676 has already come to its conclusion. Check. The hell was that?
Is this on?
That sounded like Alti. Where is he? Where is he? What the hell was that? All right. Anyway, okay. So yeah, time.
Do not adjust your Spotify settings.
Bugs.
Do not adjust your YouTube settings.
All right. So, Alti, I think, is trying to communicate. Maybe he's holding a seance or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Do not change your radio dial.
Anyway, back to the homestand for the Nashville Preds. Man, the bunker communication systems must be something must be going wrong. Anyway, the Preds gaining momentum, 3 games in a row, 3 wins. Not pretty, not style points, and nothing about it is exactly what you want to write about, unless it is the fact that you cover the team, and then it's fun because they're winning. Winning is good for business. Winning improves listenership and improves clicks, and being on the homestand and winning also improves everything: ticket sales, merchandise sales, and going into the holidays. Now that we're done with college football season practically, and the NFL season is starting to take its shape, or most of you have bailed on that, you'll start to see a lot more interest and a lot more clicks and views and everything else when it comes to our coverage and everyone's coverage. It's a good time of year, and the Predators turning the corner and starting to gain some momentum is a very, very good thing for everybody moving forward. So it is 6 out of 6 on the points on the homestand so far, 3 games in a row, and they've got an opportunity with Tampa Bay and Arizona coming in for 4 more potential points. Now listen, everybody would love to see them pick up all 4 of those points, go 10 out of 10 on the homestand, and really turn things around. They'd suddenly be 2 games over 500. They'd have 10 victories on the season, and they would be only 19 games in. So things are starting to show some real signs. It's not pretty. Again, it's ugly, but who cares about the style points? What you care about is the greasy goals that Parsonen scored tonight and the Nashville Predators securing victories on home ice. Everything else can come after that. Winning these games is simply the most important thing. So for Nashville Predators, they've gained some momentum. Now they need to keep that momentum going in the forward direction. And Parsonen, maybe that's the turning point of the season early on in the season. Very quickly, I just want to tell you guys, Nashville Spartans, USPHL action, both Elite and Premier Division hockey coming up. We've got an absolutely massive weekend. We've got a 3-game series in each division coming up at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena over there in Nolensville. If you want to come check us out, 2 games on Friday night, 2 games on Saturday night, and 2 games on Sunday. Again, Elite Division will be the first game, and the Premier Division will be the second game. Nashville Spartans versus the New Jersey Hitmen, USPHL action. It's going to be freezing cold this weekend, so come on in and check out the red-hot USPHL action at the Gary Force Acura Ice Arena. I will be on the call for all 6 of those games up there in the Perch. I'm very much looking forward to getting back to the rink. Had a great time last week calling the games against the Atlanta Mad Hatters, and now very much looking forward to meeting the team from my home state, the New Jersey Hitmen. Their logo is pretty tremendous. Voice of the Spartans, it's been a tremendous, tremendous effort and honor so far over just the first couple of weeks. Look forward to bringing you some highlights from that day after the weekend and telling you a lot more about it. All right, sure do appreciate each and every one of you jumping in the trenches. Remember, click on all those social media platforms. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscription, and help build this brand. We really have some big-time ambitions, and we're going to build this thing thing the right way, and we're going to do it the no half-stepping way. We're going to bring the jam and all the other things you know and love about the Renegades of Puck. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Truly, truly, stick taps, love, and respect. Love you.
I've hijacked Charlie's podcast and Charlie's speech at the end here just to remind Milwaukee that we love Parsonen, that we need Parsonen. And as much as we love our ads, you're not getting them back. We love Parsley, the Finnish freight train, and he's not going anywhere. Juuso, welcome home. We now go back to your regularly scheduled Charlie Saunier rant. Ulti out.